All right, God of High School.
It's almost like you can like purpose the same comments from Fire Force and say about God of High School. This is where the story stuff gets going. This is where things get weird. This is where like the if you want to the first like 5-6 episodes are what God of High School will feel like going forward. The episodes that come after this are about what God of High School actually is as a
Mm.
story, as like a aesthetic, as all this stuff. Because
Okay.
yeah, so I want to get your thoughts as to like what you took away from that episode.
Um, from this episode, I didn't give a single shit about the story. I enjoyed it a lot. Like, I'm not even gonna fucking lie. Just like it was like Sakuga porn almost the entire episode. I loved it. Even though it was like, scenes things we've already seen before, but the fight with the commissioners in the fucking apartment against Knox, I was like, this shit is just so excessively excessive. And like the powers that they're pulling out, like homegirl with the cross gun, and then she got the hands coming out of the ground, and
Right.
then homeboy got the wings,
The
and
bear
then
that shoots
homegirl got the
lasers.
dragon. She's pulling the dragon's tooth out and making a fuck. And I'm just like, what is going on? I love it. I love it. This is the wild shit that not that I would expect from the series, because I mean, this is like, we're still below 10 episodes. So I was like, it really hasn't defined itself yet, but oh my god, if it's gonna be this balls to the walls, just like bullshit. And also, my favorite characters are scythe wielding characters.
Oh.
So when homeboy
Oh, that's
when
good.
homeboy started to go the fuck off, I was like, I love you. I love
Cutting
you.
off this dude's arms.
Yes, I was just like, bruh, what is it was I was just sitting here with a smile on my face. I was just like, I love this. Like, I don't give a fuck about Jin Mori, Mira, or Deku.
You've
I don't
already
give a
moved. You've
fuck
already
about
moved
them.
on from that.
I've moved the fuck on. Is this about the commissioners from now on? Because this is what I want. Like, I want the commissioners versus Nox nonstop. And you know what? If they get to that level of fighting, that's great. We have the characters have to grow. There needs to be a story. There needs to be a plot. But if we can just get like, if that is going to be the level of engagement between the protagonist and the antagonist from now on, I'm here for it. Like, I I was so pleased.
Yeah,
I
no,
was
it's really
really
good.
fucking
I would say
pleased.
one of the things I find most enjoyable about God of High School as a series is that they go out of their way to narratively find ways to like hold down the power scaling for Mori because he gets so unbelievable like so rapidly that they have to like bend the whole story to make sure that it doesn't just become about him curb stomping like everybody. So like the little bits of like especially in the beginning, the fact that
Oh.
they allow for some comedy so that like his stupid nature winds up being more of an impediment or a threat than anybody he'll ever fight is
Yeah.
totally fine because this is just like you know uh Jojo Goku that you're dealing with at this point. Like the Mori character, that's what
Mm.
he's sort of portrayed as right now, right? Because I'm talking about Goku from like the original Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, where
Yeah.
he's childish, he's silly, he's also so much stronger than everybody else around him, like in terms of like his peers.
Yeah.
That to put him as the central focus of a lot of the early fights and conflicts would actually do a disservice to the rest of the cast. So they just find a lot of ways to like take him out and also give you other things that you're interested in that you kind of want, at least in like for a little bit of time. You want that a little bit more than what's going on with like the main cast. And the other thing, and some people complain about this, I don't really have a problem. God of High School has a lot of characters, a lot.
Oh yeah.
And they're
I'm not even
all of
trying with the
them do
names
things, and
anymore.
all of them are recurring and come back and switch roles or whatever. So it's not as if like the cast gets smaller as the show goes on. If anything, the cast gets exploded all
Oh,
the time.
okay.
And every time it gets exploded, you feel like you want to see what everyone else can do, and they spend a more time than you would expect in this kind of show on them, and not just like backstory, but like active things happening in the plot. In fact, I think a lot of the backstory stuff kind of falls away relatively fast, starting pretty much now because you're getting all the new teams getting introduced and new abilities that are sort of explained, like people getting ripped up like real
Yeah,
bad.
so that really fucked me up. Homeboy with the shark,
Yes.
Charyuk, the blood, the teeth just coming out of nowhere, in the middle of the air. I was shook. Like I was shook. I was like, I don't know what's happening. All I know is that I hear that nigga's bones crumbling, and I'm seeing these legs dangle, and I'm like, is he dead? Is he dead? Oh
They
my
go a
god, they
little
just let him kill
overboard
him.
with like the like hyping up how much damage people take because like folks be coming back from all kinds of nonsense. Some of it I
Yeah,
would think,
when he came
what's
back and did the little magic, I was like, "What the fuck, nigga? You
right?
just,
Did
you
you
just
ever
got
did you ever watch
mangled."
or see Air Gear?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I would say that like
Yeah.
sometimes the effects of like the combat are more notional than reality. Like the way like
Then the
something would
actual
happen in Air Gear and
damage.
you'd see like a mechanized barracuda like curling around
Yeah.
the guy and he's like, writhing in pain. But it's really more just a expression of what's, what's happening rather than what is literally happening. But also, some of these characters are ridiculously durable for the shit that happens. They try to like pass it off with like the nanomachines, um, to a degree, but people be looking like they get murdered in the ring, but then you see what happens like outside, and they really are getting murdered. So I think it was
I
pretty
mean,
good. I was I'm still in my feelings about the pace and the certain decisions about the art as good as
yeah.
it looks in a lot of places. Like I'll just go back and look at the panels from
Uh huh.
the manga chapters
The
that they're
manhwa.
adapting. And I'm like, this shouldn't look better here, but it still looks great. It's the best looking show I think. In a lot of ways this season. Decadence is actually catching up on me in that respect, but I think God of High School
Yeah.
has the most energy put into the animation.
Oh, definitely. Um, I thought you weren't gonna like this episode for some reason. I don't know why.
It was fine. No,
I
it
don't
was.
know.
I like.
I
See, the
don't
thing
know
is, I'm a
why.
big fan of the adaptation. Full stop. Like I'm a fan of it. As far as like the
Mm-hmm.
creative decisions that are made around it, I have critiques, but they're not like they don't take away from my enjoyment of it. It's more like, man, this could have been much more beautiful or done in a different way. Not this should not have been done the way that it was done.